Anyone who's not traumatized by that audio really ought to question their own humanity. Not only did I hear what's going on down at the border where you are, I heard what it probably sounded like in Dachau. I heard what it probably sounded like on the west coast of Africa and on the plantations when enslaved people's children were taken and wrested from them. About 300 miles from where you are now, Stephanie, Union troops rode into Galveston, Texas today, 153 years ago, to let the enslaved people of Galveston know that they were free. The news of the Emancipation Proclamation had not gotten down to Galveston yet, and that's why we call today Juneteenth. They didn't know that they were free, and obviously, when emancipation occurred, not only were the enslaved set free, but those who were the slavers were set free. What we now know today, this June 19th, is that America is not yet free of inhumanity to one another. What this administration is doing is appalling. We need to know that today. None of us are free as long as these children are being separated from their families. Not those children, not those victims, not even the White House and the perpetrators of this policy. And most of all, none of us who are bearing witness to this are free. We must all rise up and decry this terrible, terrible policy.
Then what American thinks this policy will give them a better life?
What Americans think
What American looks at this separation policy and says, this is going to help me get a better job, a better education, and support my family? Because I hear conservative journalists say, as long as there is a single American child suffering, I don't care about foreigners. Well, American children shouldn't suffer, but they will continue to suffer whether or not you separate migrant children. They're two separate and very upsetting issues on their own.
Well, I can't imagine how any American could benefit from this, but as Brett alluded to, this is somewhat of a culture war. People are being convinced through the power of suggestion and that 24-hour basic cable channel. You know, as I've said, I worked in radio now for a number of years. You know, you hear that song on the radio you don't like, but the radio station keeps playing it. And before you know it, you're actually singing that song. And this is what Fox has been doing. This is what the Trump administration has been doing. But I think people need to wake up and realize, and since you've invoked my title today, you know, that actually wasn't the wrong scripture for Jeff Sessions to use. Because what that scripture really meant, Romans 13, Paul was speaking to Christians and encouraging them to pick and choose their battles. Go ahead and pay your taxes because Romans in power are hunting us. Well, Trump has not even revealed his tax returns. But also at that time, the emperor was Nero. And Nero ended up burning up Rome and then blaming Christians for it. What is Trump doing? He is burning up America, even with this very policy and these haunting images we're seeing, the audio that we've heard. He is burning America up. He said he was going to destroy even the administrative state. So this is consistent with everything he's doing all over the world, the G7 and everything. It is destructive. It's as if he's applied shock and awe to the American people themselves. That is his intention, that is his goal, and people would be best to wake up to it as soon as possible.